2, we've got Dbdkmezz versus Portalfreek.
Yeah, so that's
that is an iron match. We're gonna quickly run through. Let's not start the game automatically though. All right.
Yeah, so both players won their week 1 matches. Dbdkmezz did it with a result of 7-3. Portalfreek did it with 7-5. So not blowouts. So it's interesting to see how these will go against each other now.
All right, I'm gonna really quickly run through picks and bans, and we can talk about them after that. Let's see. The first ban out of Portalfreek. Oh no Tien. Dang. Tien. It was first ban. Second, the ban out of DBD is Balcony.
Yeah, it looks like both of these players may be favoring maps that aren't so RNG heavy, feeling that they can beat each other on bigger maps where RNG isn't as much of a factor, like Hub or...
Alright, next up, we the first pick out of Portalfreek is Ballroom. Whee! And then clearly the favorite map in all of SCL library is being picked. The second pick out of Portalfreek is Terrace. Ooh, it's a map we don't see very often. And then Modern is a map that started out kind of not a huge favorite. Then it started gaining some traction. Now it's sort of I think we're starting to see it a lot more, at least near the end. We might not always get to it, but we see it picked a lot.
Yeah, I think in Season 4 I was one of the few people who actively picked Modern. And once again, it seems we have a situation of, one small map being picked and then mostly big maps. And once again, it's unusual because, both players ban small maps and then one of them chooses one. So it's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think these maps give a ton of opportunities for the Spy to outplay their opponent. These maps definitely have opportunities, especially Ballroom, which we're going to get started off with here. DBD as Duke on the Spy.
Yep. Alright. I am ready to go. One of you two can be the designated counters down.
Alright, I'll do that. And starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Okay, so this is the map I at first hated, then I was okay with, and then I just started avoiding. But I do think that one person, one AI less is made quite a big difference from Sniper's point of view.
Absolutely, and I think picking this map as a double map definitely shows that that player is comfortable. I see a lot of that on this map with a lot of love-hate relationships. It can be very difficult for the Sniper, but if they get a hang of it, it can be very difficult to even get a Spy win by. But a lot of opportunities here for DBD. Looks like we're just going to time for it here, and we're in a good position to bug if he wants to take it.
Yeah, even if we want to go and do that at the convo, it's probably a bit too risky for a competitive game. It might be something I try in a casual game just because why not?
Yeah, now hitting the green, that means we'll be able to pick up a flirt from anywhere. But with 2 minutes on the clock with no other progress, we're gonna have to find some...
Potentially could have done a reverse drive-by bug. But we were in the talking animation, so hands would be quite significantly moved.
Right, an important thing to note is that Duke does have an extremely long talking animation, probably, I think the longest in the entire game, so his arms would immediately snap down, so might have been a little too obvious there. DBD just wanted to play it slow.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I definitely understand not going for it right then. We very much need mission progress now.
Yeah, DBD looked at the book and decided to just put it back, but that's going to really slow him down here for not going for that microphone. And now we're close enough to bug, but again, we don't take it.
Oh, we're very much under the laser. I do like the overall idea of getting right next to Amba, clearly under the laser and clearly not trying to bug. The thing is, it wastes time, which we now don't really have.
Yeah, and now, as you're saying, we're running out of time. We need to do a mission. Green Purloin is going to be that option. And now I'll highlight taking the Purloin. This might be a tough shot since it's down to a 50-50 if Portalfreek was paying attention. He's not low-lighting too many people though, doesn't seem like he's completely aware. And now Banana Bread gonna come off. That will knock out Morgan. Morgan Freeman here, but it's going to maybe put the light on DBD.
Yeah, well, finishing off with Inspect, we do get only a highlight. I wouldn't be surprised with a shot there that late in the game.
Yeah, especially with Inspect stun, but unfortunately the twin took our statue, so we weren't able to get all three there. And so that's gonna equal a spy timeout. If we had just gotten that pickup a little faster, if twin did not show up, that could have easily been a spy win for us, since the highlight came off, but not.
Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps we could have even risked with a recycle there, considering how much time,
Yeah.
or rather how little time was actually
Or
left.
at least swap. I mean, that's a really bad spot to try and swap. But if you get a green, you buy yourself some time to do another. Do some different, less obvious mission. All right, I gotta.
Yeah, definitely an option there, but unfortunately, now Portalfreek going to be on the spy up 1-0, so definitely a chance to extend. Ballroom's a great map to do it on.
All right, let me get back to it. I had to turn off the autoplay next game. All right, now we're good to go. So that was a win for Portalfreek.
Yes.
And now, okay, I am good once again. Go for it.
All right, counting it down in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh.
We tried to go with the chaos bug, did not pan out though. That's what happens with those. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, the actual bug attempt was quite in the open, but at the very beginning, so doesn't seem that sniper noticed. We do get one right now. Doesn't seem to be noticed either.
Yeah, that's the reverse bug you were talking about, and the right arm was decently hidden by the pillar, so not going to be caught there. That's a free bug. Now, do you think contact and inspect is the way to go, plus seduce? Do you think that's the way to finish here on this map?
Um, that would be my usual thinking, but now, let's say I was right next to Amba. So we saw that that bug was pretty good. I, as a spy, would be definitely more paranoid about it. So I would prefer either not do statues or not do banana bread. Probably try to avoid statues, or at least like do one, one inspect or two, but not go finish.
Yeah, it makes sense here. Portalfreek now going to the blue book. I think he might have thought there's a print here. Unfortunately, the ambassador did take the book with him, so going to have to just put this back. Maybe we'll see Portalfreek return once the ambassador puts the book back.
Yeah, it seems he's about to do that now.
And now we must hit a green test on this flirt as well, unfortunately for us. So actually, instead of going to the statue with the ST, going to the middle statue and just trying to get all three inspects done at once.
And how lovely of RST.
Yeah, and now we're going to get this flirt. Unfortunately, 98%, it hurts us all, but not going to happen if you don't hit a single green test. And to avoid three-cycling, which is a hard tell if the sniper catches it,
Yeah.
Portalfreek does just put the statue back down, so he will have to return in order to get that mission completion.
But I think that might actually turn in our favor. I mean, here ST came to us, so if you pair up for flirts, you're still a bit unsure about that pairing potentially. And also, you have been at the center statue. Why would you go back from Sniper's point of view? So there's
Right.
this sort of reverse accidental logic that can work out.
Yeah, absolutely. Portalfreek now going to go back. I doubt we'll see a shot here, especially since we weren't shot after the BB. But let's see. DBD's thinking about it.
Ooh. It is shot indeed.
Wow, that was a wild shot. Especially since imagine we get those 3 inspects while we're there. Like if we hit a green test and we get all 3 inspects there, then we actually
Yeah.
end up just winning when the BB and seduce happen. What a nice shot
Yeah.
there by DBD.
Yeah, very well noticed. I mean, I talked about one logic, but apparently there was the other one because with you being there, potentially that's the statue that did not get inspected, and that's exactly why he needs to come back. So there's that. Yeah, well played by both, I'd say.
And starting off on the next map, well, not the next map, I'm sorry, the next spy game with DBD, tied 1-1, really nice shot, as Oprah, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We go for the early chaos bug, and this time it works. That's just
Yeah.
a bit of helpful RNG helping us there. We immediately go for these center statues.
I mean, we got an early bug. We might as well get early inspects, right? And then, if you're missed the bug, you can idle for half of the time, sort of. Or, if the bug is missed, you can just do other things. And Sniper may even forget about statues, especially considering we don't have a highlight one.
Yeah, that's a very good observation there, with Smallman and Twin both getting highlight for inspects, it seems like, but DBD not for center statues. Once DBD returns to a side statue, he might not get full credit for completing the mission.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no seduction progress yet. Looks like we're gonna start that off real quick with a nice. Now we're a third of the way there, and General will leave us first, so maybe reset that cooldown and try to get these flirts out as quick as possible.
Now, I thought that would have been too short, too quick to actually take for the window flirt, but nicely it did. We're in a pretty good spot time-wise, which is
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit tough since Seduce is definitely a time-based mission. And now we look like we could have maybe bugged there, so possibly could Portalfreek for bugging.
yeah. So that's something I don't like. So after statues, we went to the windows and we did a very buggable path as the ambassador. So you get away with a very early chaos bug, and you create 2 instances where you could be credited with a bug. That makes me worried a little bit.
Yeah, and there you go, confirming the suspicion. DBD not going to get highlight for the first set means that now Portalfreek only thinks DBD just has 2 inspects, cannot be completely finished. So this will be a really nice win. It's going to be hard for Portalfreek to shoot for a contact.
Yeah, and you may even go actively now here. Well, that's the thing. DBD doesn't possibly doesn't know. He's been credited only with 1 statue visit. But yeah, I'd say you could even go a bit more actively and just keep banana breath and finish flirt, and then make Sniper wait for you to go finish statues, supposedly.
Yeah, an important thing to note here is that since General is on the far side of the conversation, the cooldown will go much quicker, and with General leaving, that will go down even faster. So now, with only 1 flirt left, Portalfreek's gonna have to really take an aggressive shot here in order for DBD to lose this game.
Yeah, and that forward is 15%, which means we can make any position we want.
We end up getting nice and snuggly either way, but looks like Portalfreek not really paying attention to this quick talk. Looks like DBD is going to get a nice clean game.
Yeah, I say a little bit of luck for DBD for Portalfreek not noticing the first statue visit. At least that's the way it seemed from the game. But still, overall, good decisions made by Dbdkmezz overall.
Okay, I'm taking a quick look at the bug from the sniper's view, and it is very hard to see. Might even be impossible.
Yeah, those chaos bugs, when they're that early on, sometimes they're really obvious, but sometimes they're just completely invisible.
Yeah,
Pretty nice
I
there.
mean, well, the Taft ambit definitely helps.
Yeah, I'm also just now I'm looking at it. I know it happened, and I'm still not sure.
Absolutely. And now up 2-1. DBD is going to be sniping. Maybe he can extend his lead here with Portalfreek as boots on the spy. Let's see if Portalfreek can answer back in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Just gonna start off at the window, try to get a read of the party and decide what his next move is. And with seduction and BB here with the double agent being here, looks like Portalfreek's just going to take this nice 20% and maybe a BB after.
Yeah, it would have looked suspicious getting next to RST target. So while I'm not a fan of 20% flirts, it was a very logical decision for that. It's still a progress.
And we go for the action test microphone. Not exactly the most popular choice on this map, but it can definitely throw a sniper off. So we got that one clean. The pillar was blocking the most of our body there, so going to get one mission clean is nice.
From the sniper's view, I'd say it was quite visible, but doesn't seem the sniper actually caught it, which is still understandable, or perhaps just waiting for later confirmation.
And what a bug there. Yeah, Portalfreek was setting up that wrong arm bug ahead of time when he joined the conversation with Queen. Really nice execution there. That's going to be very, very hard to see. Really clean
Yeah,
bug
so
there by Portalfreek.
third game in a row where some good bug choices are happening. I like this.
Yeah, and now sadly we have 3 people at this one pad. Probably one of them is the spy, but doesn't look like DBD is going to pay too much attention to that. Not often on that tiny pad.
Yeah, but I've seen 4 or 5 of that smaller pad advocating on a high rise, so doesn't
Oh yeah.
usually get me too suspicious. But yeah.
And we do pick up the inspect, maybe indicating that Portalfreek wants to go for a silent game. And the fact that we also didn't take the BB earlier when there was only 3 people out of conversation, it seems like a pretty good indication that we want to finish this game without BB.
Yeah, and I quite like that as well. I think on ballroom going either without statues or without banana bread is a pretty strong game. And if it ends up being possible, very much go for it, I say.
Oh, and the green test there too. Wall highlight at the green bookshelf, I think saved him. White testing while you're highlight is extremely obvious. So hitting that green test while DBD's camera was moving just ended up making him as less really close to not being seen as if possible.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
now we're gonna. Now this is a really nice finish. Inspect plus seduce. You can tell DBD's looking for the swap, but it doesn't look like he's going to be shooting here without the banana bread. Oh, and we didn't get the seduce though. I didn't even notice. I thought we picked up the seduce.
I also thought that as well. We need to finish soon. Okay, it took. I was a bit worried it may not take from that distance, but thankfully it did. And a sim shot is. A sim shot is coming off. I mean, as the
Yeah.
spy for Portalfreek, you must be so happy knowing that you were in your finishing timing for the mission completion, and a sip shot takes place. Like, it's double win.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The OT.
unfortunately, yeah, I was gonna say for Portalfreek, he inspected before seducing when he picked up the statue. You know, normally you'd want to do it the other way because the statue's not going anywhere, but the seduction target may.
And yeah, huge there. Portal Freak had to hit a green test there in order to finish
Yep.
Seduce. So that was a very clutch green test
Yep.
in order to finish.
Yep. I'm just really quickly looking at the microfilm transfer. Luckily, the DVD had the camera sort of at the arm was sort of behind a pillar for some of it, and also Irish helped as well in blocking it.
Yeah, plus the green test gonna be
Yep.
really hard to see.
And so it's still a draw here.
Yeah, 2-2, some pretty solid spy play coming out. DBD getting a little bit lucky. Portal Freak taking advantage of the sniper's laser and hitting some nice green tests in order to secure him that game.
Yeah,
Came really close there for sure, though.
Were those all spy wins?
No, the first two were sniper wins, and then the
my
next
bad.
two were spy wins. So
Yep.
it's been so yeah, they've been
Even
trading.
Stevens in all kinds of ways.
They've been trading off win types as well as games.
Right.
So
Yeah,
here we
for
are.
sure. And
Next map, Library, the most popular
yeah,
map in all of SpyParty competitive league.
Yeah, now we got Queen as the spy, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And this is the way we want a game to start with a solid green time ad. Did we get caught? It does not seem like it. So that's going to be a nice additional 45 seconds to play.
Yeah, I don't really think Cypher would be looking at the clock for the green. I mean, for white, yeah, it's possible. You would notice it, but for green, unlikely.
Yeah, and sadly, we do hit a red test, so that time ad's going to go to waste as we have to spend the remaining time trying to seduce. There, it was visible, but it was it didn't look like it was going to take it all from Portal Freak's perspective, so don't think he was really paying attention to that.
Yeah, I think that bug was a little bit of questionable. I think it started a bit too late, but we're not shot for it, so.
Yeah, those bugs when both the spy and the ambassador are moving can be extremely difficult to hit. We did see Max perform it correctly, as on the last spy game he had where he did a successful wrong arm, but it can be very difficult to time correctly.
Yeah, very much so, and your luck has to be non-present somewhere, so.
And now the time ad about to end, so the slow beeping will stop, and now we've got a regular game. And now with partial completion of Softails, but not Hylet. So how do you think about this pacing so far, Kat?
I'm not sure. I mean, we have some progress, but doesn't seem like it's enough for the time that we actually spent on it. So very much depends on the party now, I'd say. Because basically we have 2 minutes 30 left, and we have only 2 partial completions. So yeah, if you think about it that way, it's even worse position than it was in Max versus Quick Climb match, I'd say.
And now we missed another flirt. This is going to be kind of tough now. We go for that same bug while both the spy and the ambassador are moving. That's what we mean by the timing being super difficult. Taft is one of the fastest characters too, so you get even less time to hit that correctly. So not going to pan out for him there.
And we're not properly chasing RSD. It just you need another time ad, if not
Banana
two.
bread.
You get banana bread, so that's something. But I don't. I'm cringing at sort of time management and how it turned out. finally this bug takes.
Yeah, this time the ambassador being stationary probably helped out with that a considerable amount. And the arms, it was a purse bug, so with that, it's much harder to see, but did not look like that was caught by Portalfreek though, so looks like we're going to be catching up on pace for sure now.
Yeah, within the last minute we did catch up quite a bit, and I'm definitely not cringing. I'm not perfectly happy yet, but I'm at least in neutral mindset. We might be in a pretty cool position, in a pretty good position. We finished our inspect. It's one more flirt and fingerprint left. If we get lucky or Amba is collaborating, um, that might end up as a pretty good game in the end.
We got very unfortunate there. DBD obviously not trying to fake banana bread there. It was trying to seduce, but the ST went for the briefcase. And the instant that happens, even if they're standing in the conversation circle, they're not considered to be in the conversation circle. So DBD trying to flirt, but unfortunately not working out for him.
Yeah, and he does time it about 1 or 2 seconds after it has started beeping. We do need to get a difficult print there. Oh, testing ignored. Oh my, this is snowballing a little bit. We still have a chance. Um, where else has the Amba? I mean, we can always desperately purloin in the end, right?
Yeah, if worst comes to worst, there are missions that can go by super quickly, but ideally, DBD really wants this fingerprint to end. But looks like he's going to the statue. Usually a swap.
From micro. Okay, yeah, that is statues. It must be a swap.
Yeah,
I
I felt
probably would
like
have waited after mom.
I could have waited and tried to go for the hard frame. Unfortunately, there, just going for the swap. We'll see if Portalfreek's going to be on it. And this looks like there is going to be some hang at 0. So right now, hanging at 0.
Yeah.
And OT comes off, and the civilian shot happens. Looks like Portalfreek just misremembered who was there towards the end.
It
Oh man,
seems so.
that is unfortunate. Looks like he just picks. Well, actually, I mean, he wasn't even a suspect. The person that got shot.
Yeah, he did
Perhaps
middle statues at the very end of the game,
Okay.
so I can understand that. The hang at 0 though is a pretty nice indicator that green purloin or green swap happened.
Yep.
yeah. Or a time ad, but well.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the hang at 0 only lasts a couple seconds, it's a decent indicator that one of those missions has happened.
Yeah, well, it
And
couldn't
the
have been
shot comes.
like in the case, like I mean, obviously there's not this much thoughts going into a game like this. It's only in hindsight that you can think about it and say like, oh wait, like if inspect was the last mission, the clock wouldn't be hanging because he's already left the statue. So I mean, he could potentially be flirting with secret at the end there. That is possible, certainly, something like that.
Oh, and we do see in chat that Portalfreek says he thought cowboy green swap. He hasn't seen the actual swap that happened from by Salmon. So with the timing being like this, he assumed that Cowboy did the green.
He was just looking at. Looks like I guess he just saw the wrong statue. Did that statue get picked up again? Let's see.
It did not, but he didn't really go over there to check, so maybe just assuming that it got swapped when he hadn't checked. So maybe he could have taken that extra second, but that's a tough position, especially in competitive.
Especially when you hear the overtime beeps, it's just shoot, must shoot now. Shoot the first person I see that I don't like.
And even though he did have a decent amount of lowlights from the BBs and the time ad, he did have quite a few highlights to parse through. So not going to be able to make the correct decision there.
All right, and well with that, DBD just barely ekes out a win there. I mean, some of that play was a little iffy, but it worked.
But yeah, now Portalfreek on the spy. We saw this last time. He was able to answer back with a pretty solid spy game on Ballroom. Let's see if he can do it now as Alice. In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, with those panic shots, I mean, I can advise people not to panic as much as I want, but I myself do that a lot, so it's probably understandable by everyone and anyone.
Oh yeah, SpyParty is stressful enough by itself. When you add a competitive setting where you really don't have that many games to work with, the stress just builds up even more in those close last 30 seconds where the timer's beeping every second and an OT happens. The stress is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
And again, Portalfreek looks like he's favoring microfilm, deciding not to do the action test this time though, compared to Ballroom. Just deciding to take the book out and maybe put it into a different shelf later.
Yeah, well, this is, I think, on Ballroom it's about 50-50 of which option I'd go with. On the library, one does usually go with the direct transfer.
Yeah, we did see some really nice usage from Max with a direct transfer, but you do need to be behind the pillar. And in this case, Portalfreek's a little bit too far out in the open in order to get that done. Looks like he's actually just going to do the direct transfer here. It was on camera, like DBD did see Portalfreek at the yellow shelf, but not going to get highlight for microfilm makes me think that this mission got off nice and.
Yeah, it seems it was one of those things, it was under laser, but it wasn't seen. Those are different things. So,
Right.
we do. Yeah, sorry.
No worries. To catch microfilm, you really need to see the character at both shelves, and potentially just not seeing Portalfreek at the green shelf meant that him going to made sense in DBD's mind. How do you think this pacing is so far, though? No
It's
fingerprints.
it's very curious. You'll always ask me that around the same time. I was just thinking that 2 minutes, well, 1:45. We have 1 2/3 of a mission. We need to scramble a little bit, which we kind of. Oh, I think we. All
Yeah.
right, we
So
didn't get away with that.
from Portalfreek's perspective, the laser was just hanging around on the left side for a long time. So Portalfreek, instead of picking up the second inspect like his plan probably was, tried to maybe call an audible and go for the swap and try to get away with it. Unfortunately, DBD turned around just in time in order to catch that.
Yeah, it was definitely a good idea, and with the laser being on the other side, it's always a gamble. Sniper has been on the other side for quite a lot, so I can do something safely on this side, some sort of shenanigans, one might think, but then on the other hand, the longer laser is staying on the other side, the more likely in a way it is that it will, move over to this one. So it's very much of a guessing game, and yeah.
Yeah, taking advantage of the party and how it's looking. But now with a Purloin, going to be probably tough for Portalfreek again. But looks like he's deciding again for the option for a silent game here. Unless yeah, DA bailing out means that options off the table.
Yeah, it seems you would need to just finish the flirt and, go inspect. With 15 seconds is gonna be tough, but, well, bug. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a desperation attempt, but we only had 10 seconds left, so it was a necessary evil. Portalfreek red testing the ST out of that situation when he already killed them the most there. If he had that, he had a lot more options to win.
Okay, this bug just not the best bug. I mean, he got caught on the ambassador there and just sort of waved at the sniper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I would agree it's a bad bug, but I very much do not blame the rogue.
I mean, yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
I 100% in the same situation would have gone for the same bug and probably would have gotten the same bullet. It's just I'm questioning whether that swap was intentional or not. I mean,
I don't know, from Portalfreek's perspective, it seems like it, but I'd have to get him to confirm in chat.
Yeah, I mean,
but now
I'd
finally,
almost guess action priorities had a role in that, but you know, could have been intentional. All right, anyway,
yeah,
we
starting
can move
the
on.
next
Yep,
game.
go for it.
Yeah, starting 4-2 now for DBD as the spy. Starting off in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Actually, Portalfreek is the spy. My apologies there.
No, you're right. You're right.
DBD as Oprah.
Oh right, my bad.
Okay. I was just checking if I didn't get things wrong again.
Nope, you're right.
We did an innocent bookshelf visit, which I don't know how I feel about, but possibly we just spawned there and we did something quickly to decide where actually we should go and what actually we should do.
Yep, going to the windows or just to an innocent painting pad can be a nice way to determine what mission you want to go for next if you don't have a clear-cut game plan of what missions you want to go for early on. And now, just going to be hanging out here in this conversation. We have one flirt, not going to be taking a purloin here, so looks like we're gonna just be taking it easy on this map. Burned 1 minute though, and not much progress yet.
Yeah, it's always a weird relationship as a spy in library. Like, on one hand, you have more time, but like I've already mentioned, you have more things to do, so the pacing is a little bit not as intuitive to figure out for you as the spy as usually is. But we've seen in the 2 or 3 last games where I was a little bit disappointed with, mission progress and time left ratios, and then Spice pulled it off with being active within a minute or so.
Yeah, DBD there, going to the far painting. Looks like the far statue butts looked like he wanted to get in the conversation with the DA, but missed the pad, so just decided to move forward and not make it look super obvious.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that one was about.
Oh, and I guess nobody mentioned. Did you notice the bug that happened while he was at that giant statue?
Yeah, just got that quick little standing bug before bailing.
Yeah, I think.
Pretty
Oh,
nice.
looks like Catnip missed it. But yes, there was a bug. It was in full view of the sniper, but as we all know, being in full view does not mean the sniper saw it.
Right. More likely, Portalfreek is probably looking at Alice, considering this suspicion here with this pretty early shot with 2 minutes left.
It's a very early shot. I mean, and this was assuming a green banana bread as well.
Looks like Alice did middle statues, so that's a pretty big
middle
statues.
There. Looks like a briefcase return. You know, could have been a bug happening in there somewhere.
Yeah, and with that, Dbdkmezz goes up 5-2.
Yeah, sweeping this map so far. See if Portalfreek can answer back as Penguin. There we go.
If you need a spy win, this is the pick to go with.
Yeah, I agree.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, and starting off in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And just getting an early flirt. You can see from a lot of these players that this is an extremely common opening, especially on library. We've seen some. We saw Portalfreek time out a little bit, so really nice bug there too. But yeah, we saw the timeout a little bit with running low on seduce. So trying to get that done early so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and while it is a sort of a tendency, a library is not a map where you would look for it. For example, on Courtyard, you might be able to, still catch something with that. Not on library.
Oh yeah,
there's just
and this
too much
bug. Yeah, that wrong arm bug with the pillar covering. That's something as the sniper you're not going to be able to see, and you're just going to have to credit. But not even a highlight coming onto Portalfreek. This is looking like to be a very strong start.
Very strong start indeed, and we have 3 minutes left. 1 full mission, 2 closely done missions. that is great progress.
Yeah, we've seen some timeouts today with the Spy struggling to complete, but now Portalfreek decided to just take the bull by the horns and get as many missions done as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely, last match had the tendency of being usually a bit slow played and somewhat idle. This one has been quite active. There have been idle moments, but overall it still comes off as active and doing things they may not just, end up as the mission progress.
Yeah, for sure. And now completing the Seduce, and we're not going to have to worry about that mission for the rest of this game. So that's pretty nice. And we're in the conversation with the double agent. Actually looks like a decent time to take this opportunity.
And the end of red.
Alright, we just return the book and go, well, incorrectly, and we go to statues. We do return it correctly, it seems.
Yep, that's very true here. And now we only need one more mission left. Inspect swap anybody? I think that's probably not too great of a mission with Smallman, but it might be so bad that it might be good here. We'll see what Portalfreek decides to opt with.
I would have said as those 2 minutes left, right before Banana Bread or right after it. With 2 minutes left, it's a good timing. With 1 minute 15, not so much, and I think Sniper would be looking more for it. Would expect it more.
Yeah, for sure. And we do pick up the fingerprint, so that's a pretty nice indication. It can be a bit risky to go for fingerprint this late because you're relying on the ambassador cooperating. But now with the Irish being nice and close, ambassador should leave relatively soon.
Yeah. Then, if fingerprint doesn't work out, you still have that swap option in the end as a last resort.
Right. We did get highlight for that fingerprintable statue. Was that for completion or for fingerprint? We don't know, but it does not look like DBD is going to be shooting Portalfreek here. So very nicely played game. Just going a little bit faster. Made him have more options in order to finish. So really nicely done.
Yeah, very well done. We did need this win as Portalfreek. Quite so.
Staying
And I think
alive,
he just,
Portalfreek can still win, thankfully.
yes.
Yeah, if you're down 2-6 and they have match point you need to sweep 2 straight maps, so that can be very, very difficult to pull off.
All right, and
especially
so
with the next map being Terrace. So
yeah,
now,
ooh, Terrace.
yeah, not the hugely popular map, mostly due to how Sniper favorite it is, but we're going with a different layout this time. Instead of fingerprint, the option is going to be inspect.
Ooh. It was Portalfreek's pick, so he may be, continuing his comeback streak.
Yeah, we got some secret strats coming out here any second now.
Yeah, DBD on the spy as queen in 3, 2, playing it.
We do have both twins in there as well.
A bit of an etiquette mistake at the start with a no talk and a poor sip, but I doubt either player will really notice. We get a decent flirt. Sometimes people can punish you on Terrace for flirting, so that can really hurt, especially since getting the hardtails by is hard enough.
Yes, I mean, just overall, a 3 of 5 maps, like high-res as well, we had flirts, close flirts, standard, close flirts are iffy, are suspicious. So you do want to try to get away with something not as straight up.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we have 2 people completing inspects. That bug was on camera. Yeah, we do get highlight. That was a pretty rough path there, and Portalfreek was pretty aware that could happen, so good job highlighting. Let's see if he'll get shot for this.
Yeah, I think we got a highlight only because it's way too... Oh!
Well, that's a way to end it, but it was probably going to be really tough for DBD to win that game anyways.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes you just die because you cough. as gruesome as it sounds.
Yep.
Looking at
That is a
bug,
move.
you could see even though it was a purse bug and it's tougher to see, the arm pull, the snapback is pretty obvious. So
Yeah, and
good
I
job
think the
with
highlight instead of the shot happened there only because it was just too early to be finished. So Portalfreek can't afford to wait for something else to happen.
right. Might as well hold your shot and get some more confirming evidence. If Queen's out of conversation and a BB happens, that can be really nice
Yeah,
for the sniper. But so really well played by Portalfreek, and now starting on as trying to get a spy one on Terrace, going with the same setup with Inspecs on in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Interesting that Inspecs is the option here. Uh, under maybe thinking that Inspec's completions happen a lot with AI. From personal anecdote, I haven't really seen that too much, but maybe hoping that an AI will complete Inspec's and BB and then get shot for that. If that does happen, that's a pretty nice terrorist.
yeah, potentially, or perhaps it's just people got used to tracking fingerprint on Terrace, so it's a little bit of a throw off in a way that you would not be that great at tracking inspects, or they wouldn't be as suspicious because it's still not the best mission to do on this map potentially. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Me and Ponoob were talking about this yesterday with Hi-Rise, the value of inspects versus other missions on. There you go. There's the shot for the reverse bug attempt.
Yeah,
Yep.
the value
The
of
reverse bug
of
that missed, unfortunately.
not yeah the value of a not great bug is a shot.
Oh, that was for much of that. The arm was invisible, but unfortunately, just ran at the end. DBD moves the camera just enough to the right to very clearly see that arm, and that puts DVD on match point. So the best Portalfreek can do now is go for win the next 3 games in a row and draw it. No problem.
Next
2 games. I
rather.
I
Yeah.
can't count.
Really
But yes.
nice awareness there from DBD to understand that Leopard could potentially be going for a reverse bug and moves to
Yeah,
cover
and
it
yeah,
really
looking
nice.
for it specifically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very well put, I'd say. It's one of those, whether you saw something or whether there are decisions of, oh, you saw something as a sniper, and then there's good gameplay and I expect to see something, so I'm gonna be looking for it.
Yep. All right, and now DBD as Spy going for the win for the set here.
Yeah,
Count
as
down when you're ready.
Irish. Alrighty, we get starting in 3, 2, 1. Modern getting a pretty nice buff from Season 4. Season 4, you only had 4 minutes on the clock, and this map is, I would say, the biggest in the game, and it's very difficult time management-wise. So the extra 30 seconds is a welcome addition to any spies that want to attempt to complete this.
But yeah, I am a fan of that. I haven't been following the changes that closely, so yeah, that's some cool news.
Yeah, and now DBD, seeing that his book was marked, just decides to put it back. Unfortunately, did not get that early flirt with Alice. And flirt is extremely important on this map since it's going to take you quite a long time to do it. Fortunately, you do get some nice counterplay with Purloin. Purloin is a pretty tough mission to guard on this map.
Yeah, but now we've wasted a minute without any mission progress. And
Yeah,
that usually makes me worry, and it does now as well.
yeah. It looks like DBD does go for the delegate. In order to catch up, he might honestly have to go for a delegate here in order to bring it back time wise.
He definitely needs to go for something, I'd say.
Yeah, now we've burned a full minute 30 without being obviously idle. So gonna be tough now to complete missions here. Time isn't great, but it's not awful. It's about an average with time matting. Sometimes can be a pretty decent number of people at the windows.
Yeah, and just especially considering what's going on somewhere else.
And right there we saw one of the bugs with Purloin. The delegate did occur to orange dress, but instead she goes to a conversation before she tries to go to the bar. And now the Purloin timer has expired due to that bug. One of the unfortunate things there.
The other unfortunate thing was the glitch I suppose we tried to bug, but instead, and then we ended up glitching, and
Yep.
Yeah, missing the pad is going to kill you there. It would have been a pretty clean bug if he had just walked in normally, since the conversation would have covered our bug.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that, like, because I mean, I can't really see the bug from the sniper's view. I mainly just see the readjustment. So I mean, it actually looks like a pretty, if it wasn't just stopped there diagonally, it would have been a good bug. All right, well, Portalfreek stays alive with that shot.
Yeah, now shooting to tie. DBD as the spy needs to. No, Portalfreek as the spy needs to pull it out. And on Modern, that can be somewhat difficult. Just depends what you can really get away with.
Yep.
Starting as Morgan Freeman in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Starting off just an innocent conversation, trying to get his bearings. We do have a very slow ST, so it will take a while for them to go anywhere. So Portalfreek going to just try to make some other mission progress by going to the.
yeah,
We
30
leave with
seconds.
a 2. Yeah, looks like we leave with. Looks like we leave with the blue bug, and we go pick up that flirt. Sorry about that. Now we're in a decent position. If we can hit this 2 flirt, we're going to be making great progress. Direct transfer, definitely one of the more popular ways to complete microfilm on this map.
Yeah, I think if you take away the book and you spend this time in a conversation, it feels like you're wasting time if you return it correctly. On the other hand, ooh, low light for I think unintentional low light instead of VSBA. It seems. And we do get a direct microphone, so that's nice. So yeah, as I was saying, you're wasting time not doing a direct microfilm, but then on the other hand, the bookshelves are quite visible, so there's that kind of risk. So one could have arguments for both.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, making even more progress. We only need one more flirt now in order for us to be done with that mission. Plus, we're getting the opportunity to delegate if Gated will actually cooperate this time. Maybe we'll actually get a mission there.
Yeah, and overall it does seem much better progress mission time ratio wise. It's not where I would potentially love it to be, but it's not bad either. I think I'm just overall more eager for good mission progress early-ish than most of the players. I think that's personal issue or trait or what have you. But we seem to be doing pretty well off to finish that flirt. And delegate the Purloin.
Yeah, we do double talk there. One talk to send a Smallman away, and the other to finish our flirt. So if this Purloin takes, and it should, we did this within a minute after we took the list. Well, after we delegated, we ended up bailing so that we wouldn't take a drink to make us more suspicious. And now the Purloins come off.
Portalfreek makes pretty much the same bug attempt as Dbdkmezz did as the game just before. The difference is we're not shot, but the bug didn't take either.
Yeah, that could have been a huge game winner right there, because it was really nice timing with the Purloin. DBD was clearly looking at the Purloin, trying to figure out who could have done it, and then the bug as that's happening not going to be looking at that. That would have been a mission win right here.
Yeah.
But can Portalfreek get a bug elsewhere?
We
Misses
just...
that one right there.
Oh, no, that one that didn't take either. That's sad.
Now we could try the same bug as DBD went for, like bug while the ambassador's here. But will it be seen?
Seems
Looks like
it's
just gonna
being
wait.
watched. It's gonna wait for a drive-by, I think. Oh,
Missed it.
either.
Oh no. Now it's going to be fingerprint or inspect. And looks like Portalfreek not even going to pick up the inspects.
There is a
Wow.
fingerprint on both of those statues.
Right. Now, does he? Yes, he has to go back now,
Oh, he's
but
not.
it hasn't
He's,
even painted it.
oh, Portalfreek is not aware.
Right. He does go back, and it's the fingerprintable statue, but he
And
goes
He
to
better not
he
swap.
swaps
No.
Oh,
No. It's so sad.
Oh, must have been action priority. It must have been.
Or he, like, that fingerprint was there for quite a while. He could have missed it, but that hurts so much to lose to a swap when you had the win right there with the
I
fingerprint.
mean, he could have missed it, but he was trying to bug the ambassador while the ambassador was at that very statue.
Yeah, Portalfreek
Oh, wow.
just didn't realize that Amba had the print, so just not fully aware of the Amba's location there. So unfortunate there for Portalfreek missing out on
Yep.
that.
Yeah, and like, how is it so that once again I'm finishing the match on a third game? Like,
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
that was
Honestly, a
unfortunate.
really well played set though from
Yeah,
both
it
players.
was very,
Some really
you know,
really good spies. Only a couple times did we end up having some like near timeout situations. And right there, if Portalfreek, like if any of those bugs take, he probably wins because the ambassador is really difficult to see with that conversation blocking. Just unfortunately barely missing out on those in order to lose at the last second.
All right. Well, anyway, DVD just barely pulling out a win there. Portalfreek just just little forgetfulness right at the end, and goes for a swap instead of fingerprint. I've certainly done similar things. And with that, we got a bird talking to us here, and we also have